Hey everybody, Peach here. A few months ago, I reviewed the Rep x PEPIN adjustable dumbbells, and the link to that review is right up there. Now, in that review, I called out what I like about them and what I don't like about them. And two things that I called out can be fixed with this upgrade kit that I bought on eBay. So let's check it out and see how it performs. All right, so the two issues specifically we're talking about fixing here is number one, on the adder weights, they have these keychains, and the keychains stick out because a spring is pulling them tight against the nut. And these keychains rub against your hand. It's annoying, okay? Now, you can manipulate them so they're out of the way, but having to do that each time is inconvenient. The second issue is the bigger issue. These selector pins stick out so far that your knuckle rubs against them and it can dislodge the pin just like that. And if this rail also ends up moving, plates could fall off and damage the equipment or your face. So we're gonna use this mod kit that I got off eBay to fix these two issues. All right, so let's open the product. So we're just gonna tear this guy right open and see what we got inside. Okay, so that's it. So there's no instructions, but when you buy this on eBay, there are written instructions in the ad, and the seller does have a how-to YouTube video that goes over how to assemble. So I went ahead and I read that, so we're gonna do the quick version here. So it looks like we got these 4 bolts, okay? We also have these 4 nuts. And then we have these, which will replace those keychain rings.
Wow.
So these are for the selector pin, and this is for the adder weights. The tools we're gonna need is, we're gonna need one 8mm wrench, we're gonna need one 4mm Allen wrench, and we're gonna need some purple thread locker, okay? You can also use the blue or red, but it's not advised because those are gonna be too strong. This is like the weakest one. Now, you can't really get this at most hardware stores. Like Home Depot, I think, only sells the semi-permanent, which is blue, or the permanent, which is red. They don't carry the purple. So you might wanna pick this up. I do have a link below to buy this via Amazon. So that's what we're gonna need. So just these 3 things. All right, so we're gonna start with the adder weight. So we're gonna take our 8mm wrench and just go ahead and put it right on that nut and then go to the left. Okay, pretty easy. Okay, now we're gonna take one of these new guys here. Okay, just like this, that's what it looks like. And we're gonna put a little thread locker on that guy. And then we'll put it back in. We're just gonna hand tighten it. What we're looking for here is for this to be flat, okay? So when you rotate this, it'll stick out. It'll remain stuck out like that on the front with it recessed in the back. When you rotate it, it'll spring back out so it sticks out. So that's what we're looking for. Okay, now we're gonna let that sit for 24 hours to allow that to cure. All right, and now we're gonna replace the selector pins. So we're gonna take our 4mm Allen wrench, put it right here on the front, and we're gonna take our 8mm crescent wrench and put it on the nut back here. Okay, so we have this. So set this off to the side. This bolt rather, obviously had thread locker on it because it's got that red thread locker right there. We're gonna take that bolt out, set it off to the side, and keep this. We're gonna take the new bolt and put it through there. Then we're gonna go ahead and add just a dab of thread locker again, all right? Then go ahead and put it through this hole. Make sure you don't get any thread locker on any of the parts. And then put that nut back on, the new nut. Okay, now tighten that on. Okay, now we'll let that cure for 24 hours. All right, so that thread locker is now cured, and I could not be happier with the result. Not having to worry about this keychain hitting my wrist or that selector pin causing bloodshed like I have right here makes this product so much better. So if you're gonna spend upwards of $1,400 on a set of adjustable dumbbells, it's a no-brainer to spend an additional $50 and get this mod kit. So if you were on the fence about getting REPPINS, you shouldn't be on the fence anymore. With this $50 kit, it's a no-brainer to get the REPPINS. All right, so again, I bought this on eBay. And when I bought them, there's only two options, a black option and the stainless steel option. So I bought the stainless steel option. Then I reached out to the guy selling them and said, hey, I'm gonna do a YouTube video on these. Is there anything that I should know before I start filming? And he said, hang on, wait a second. I'm coming out with a third option, a nickel option. And the finish on these more closely resembles the finish of the handles of the REPPINS. And it's a harder metal and doesn't have to be broken in as much as the stainless steel option. So I said, great. So he sent those to me, and now that means that I have a stainless steel kit sitting around collecting dust. So I'm gonna give it away. So go to Design Build Lift on Instagram and enter the giveaway there, and you may win. All right, so I have two more announcements to make and then we'll wrap this up. So the first announcement is Microgains is coming out with their own adder weights for the REPPINS, and they're gonna come in both 1.25 pound versions and the 2.5 pound versions. And these versions just snap right in, so there's no hassle right there, okay? So that could be a solution for you. Instead of getting this mod kit, if that's your major concern, is just get those, okay? Doesn't address the selector pin issue, but it does address the adder weight issue, okay? The second announcement is Ryan from Rep, one of the founders, he posted this reel and he's talking about they're gonna come out with a version 2.0 of the REPPINS, where the numbers are gonna be the same orientation and they are going to address both of the issues that this mod kit is trying to address, okay? So if you'd like to check out both of those reels yourself, I'll put the links down to Instagram for both of those reels down in the video description below.